This episode was brought to you by our generous patrons. Want to vote on the next game we play? Consider becoming a patron. Hey everybody, welcome to 10 More Minutes. I'm Chris.
And I'm Sam.
Today we are playing Sly Cooper, and I'm going to screw this up, the Thievius Raccoonus?
Yeah, the Thievius Raccoonus. And the Thievius Raccoonus.
I don't know what that reference is.
You'll find out in this opening
I'm sure
cutscene.
it's Latin? Or supposed to be a mockery of Latin, maybe?
Kind of, yeah. They explain in like the first cutscene after we do this mission. So we'll get into that whole, what it means, what it's not your MacGuffin in this game, but it's definitely your main objective of what you're going after.
Okay, I played a Sly game once before.
Yes.
And now that I'm looking at it, I think it maybe was the second or third one now.
Probably, yeah.
There's also that MacGuffin doesn't really ring a bell for me, too.
Yeah, it's brought up in the other games, but not so much.
Sly! Come in!
Oh.
Bentley, chill out.
Yeah, I read you. Loud and very loud.
Very loud.
Very loud is right. Le police.
Headquarters does that.
Get over it.
Internationale.
I'm the thief here.
I think that means little police.
Well, count on me to be your eyes and ears, buddy. Got their security system totally scoped. To get inside, you're gonna have to go through that air vent.
But what if I don't want to?
I'm going in.
Bentley.
Don't forget you got me at the wheel, Sly.
Murray.
All you gotta do is grab the file and get back to the van. We'll do the rest.
Just keep that engine running, Murray. I'll be down in no time.
Bentley the turtle, right?
Bentley the turtle.
Is
Murray
the eyes
the
and
hippo.
ears, and he literally doesn't have ears, like,
Yes.
not ears,
I mean,
you know? Like,
turtles have
turtles
ears.
have ears, yes,
Yeah.
but
Things. Must be vertigo or something.
I assume a
You see those
raccoon's
crazy blue
has
lights?
better.
Really?
You would think. I mean, that's why Sly's in the field and Bentley's not always in the
Able
field.
to sense thieving opportunities, which manifest themselves as unexplainable blue auras.
Sure.
According to my research,
It's our
all you have to
lore
do is
reason.
get near them and hold down the circle button, and you should perform a super sneaky master thief move.
Hold
Okay.
down the circle button near blue auras. I'm on it.
Still better than how they explained the painted grab ledges in Uncharted. Oh, the music too when you're sneaking
I
around
remember
stuff.
you painted ledges in Uncharted, though.
I think Uncharted had like lighter ledges, or they basically showed you, right?
No, not from I remember. It was always kind of like,
Be extra careful.
Oh!
Quick!
Quick, attack stuff!
quick attacks. I don't think Uncharted had that from what I remember. There were certain games that did
I mean,
have
there was
that.
like God of War, Lara Croft.
Nice job, you're in.
I-
Inspector Carmelita Fox's
I
office
swore
is
it was-
behind the red door.
I played all the Uncharted games. I don't remember there being like
Okay,
lighter
well,
colored
they
ledges.
changed the correction to then Lara Croft or God of War. They never
remember God of-
explain any of the, this seems to be a grabbable ledge because I can tell because it's
God of War,
kind of
you would-
highlighted
You
and
would
kind of lighter.
typically just go into.
Way to go, Sly. This is where Inspector
You would just
Carmelita Fox
carve your
stashes all
weapons
her
into the wall, and you
important
just
files.
you knuckles your way
I
up
hacked
the wall
into
for the most
security
part.
mainframe and discovered this vault's combo. Try dialing in 937.
No, 069.
All right, this one.
You casually voted on this game. We tried it on the PS Now, and the PS Now seems to not have a good enough bit rate.
Yeah, it does not look good.
So we had to download it on the PS3 and go through a
Nice
whole.
job. You got it. If you come down through the fire escape and head through the parking
Ordeal.
lot, we'll be waiting in the getaway van.
Look at that low res picture.
Yeah, had to go through a whole ordeal to get it all set up. So this will be our last PS3 only game.
Bam.
Here's a little calling card. Because oh boy, howdy, it was not good. We're playing on 480p right now.
Yeah, it is.
And it was what, up-res to what, 1080? And it looked worse on the PS Now.
I mean, this would have been like a 720, 10. I mean,
You foolish
I like the Sly
raccoon.
Cooper games,
I've caught you
but they've
red-handed.
never looked the greatest.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen you since I gave you the slip in Bombay.
Which reminds me, you need to
very
return the
deep
Firestone
and
of India to
bassy
its
the way he
rightful
talks like
owners.
this.
And I was going to give it to you as a little token of my... Hey,
What?
that bazooka really brings out the color of your eyes. Very fetching.
You think? This pistol packs a paralyzing punch. You ought to try it.
Nice
Might snap you out of
alliteration.
your crime spree.
Give up our little rendezvous?
Plenty of time for that once you're safely behind bars.
Love to stick around and chat. but I just dropped by to pick up this case file. I think you've had it long enough.
Yeah, this game was definitely saved by its writing and its characters. Because you look at the games that came around the same time, Ratchet and Jak and Daxter, they looked a lot better.
I think gameplay-wise, it's
fine.
Different.
Oh no, the gameplay's good.
Yeah.
The gameplay and the characters, they all sell it.
The graphics definitely very PS2.
Yeah.
Definitely feel PS2.
Even for PS2, they felt very dated at the time.
I mean, it was early PS2, right?
Yeah, but they never really got, no offense, and no Sly fans are probably gonna get mad at me, but
how dare they?
They never really got to the level, like you look at like Jak 2 and Jak 3, they still look really good, whereas Sly Cooper 3 looks alright. These look nice though.
Yeah, I can't imagine what they would look like on the PS Now though.
Oh
the
yeah.
PS Now looked terrible on the cutscenes.
Yeah,
everything was like super low bitrate and blurry, and it had like a fade behind it as it moved.
I come from a long line of master thieves who kept all their secrets of sneaking.
I can't even read that.
I
can't read any of these. They're all super blurry.
Anyone who read it learned to be a
so yeah, Thievius Raccoonus.
In stealing from criminals.
It's the big to be a thief guide.
I get you.
Fun stealing from ordinary.
That's
people.
what he looks like without his.
You rip off a master criminal.
Well, he's actually still wearing a domino mask right now. So
what
fun
was
fact
with like
about
the little
that.
curly thing on his head?
That's his hair. Yeah.
Visitors came unannounced to our door.
So there's an explanation for that, actually.
Okay.
My father fought to protect us, but the gang of villains known as the Fiendish Five overpowered
the Fiendish Five
until they found the Thievius Raccoonus. Our family's manual of thieving greatness fell into their filthy hands.
I see the little curl now.
5 pieces and split it up. Each villain disappearing to the farthest corner.
Why would they do that?
Dastardly crimes.
Other than to create 5 bosses.
Create 5 bosses, and also like they all just want those special skills.
There I met 2 guys who became my lifelong.
Are they not gonna say that he killed their father?
Techno genius and strategy supreme.
No, not at all.
No,
just you can't gotta avoid that.
Full-time burden.
God, these old.
Or maybe didn't kill the father, but you know,
yeah.
He ended up in an orphanage. Fuck.
Yeah, his parents are definitely not alive.
The toughest test of my life. On this mission, I would either
Sly Post, Sly Post 2, Sly Post 3 and 4.
Allow my family name to bite the dust.
So for like his mask, when we were designing,
well, do you want to give the context for?
Yeah,
I
so
figured once we got started into play.
Yeah, once we get into it, I think he's gonna talk for a little bit.
Yeah, probably.
Back there, police headquarters, Sly. Come see me if you want to check out any of your old movies. I've got them all here on my computer.
I really like Bentley's
Use
voice.
the left analog stick to move around the hideout and the X button to select things.
It's like nerdy and nasally, but vocal.
First target.
There's the main man, Driver Murray. We'll get into our first mission.
Yeah.
So I've beaten these games before. I've platinumed them.
The road trip gave me the time
So
I needed
that's
to
some
study
context
up on
for
Sir
right now.
Wally the Frog.
Ew.
He's gross.
As a young man, this hot-tempered frog grew bored of his life of luxury and privilege.
So boring.
He tried his hand at a bit of piracy. To his liking.
Down in the bayou piracy.
He became addicted to crime, was brought into the Fiendish Five as chief machinist, where his evil tinkering genius rose to new heights.
Okay. He's a multifaceted
The last
millionaire.
sighting of this mad machinist was off the soggy coast of the Isle of Wrath, a small island uncomfortably situated in
They love their angles.
the perilous Welsh Triangle.
They definitely love their fucking angles in this game.
Yeah, no, for sure. This
Sly
definitely
Cooper
has a
tide of terror.
It's got a fun vibe to it for sure. I'm not trying to knock on Sly Cooper. I obviously love Sly Cooper. I got to work on the 4th game out of college. I worked at GhostSpot back in the day where we worked on the cutscenes. I didn't know that was a job I was going to get to work on when I started there, but that's what I was talking about. Yeah, with the mask thing. I was talking to my boss, Brad. He said at a certain point they had to figure out what he looks like without that bandana.
I just spotted something that's going to complicate the mission. See that nasty-looking gate? It blocks the only road leading into Raleigh's hideout.
No problem. I'll just use my climb move.
Okay, but remember, you can only climb on certain objects, like pipes and ropes.
Yeah, sure.
Don't try and jump on those spikes.
That is correct, but do not forget, Sly. You have to get close.
Then hit the circle button to grab it. Yeah. Relax, Bentley. I live for this stuff.
Yeah, and that's what worries me.
Bentley's like, make sure you hit that circle button. You know, the fourth wall. It's on the fourth wall.
I think I can take out this.
So you worked on Sly 4.
Yeah, I was a junior artist / intern. I got to work on a lot of the cutscenes. I worked on some stuff with Murray. Worked on the Ice Age cutscenes. Did some storyboard revisions. Designed a bunch of background characters. It was a really cool job.
That sounds awesome, man. Do it.
Yeah, it was one of my first jobs out of school. So Sly Cooper definitely has a special place for me. I didn't grow up playing the games. I was a Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank guy. But I'd always...
Seeing this, I think I played either 2 or 3 to completion. I think there was maybe someone could help me fill me in. I think there was like a giant blimp near the end, maybe?
That was either 2 or 3, because I played all of them as well.
Or something. It's been again, I played it when it was out, not like recently, so I don't remember. It's been forever for me.
Yeah, and I just didn't own them as a kid. I think I tried them a couple times. I always thought the character looked great.
I was at my godmother and father's house, and they happened to have it on the game, and I beat it in like a day.
Yeah, I mean, this game's
so that's the only reason why I got to play it.
Yeah.
Hold on, Sly. See those searchlights? One careless step, and you'll be subjected to acute combustion.
You're done whining. Let's go.
This searchlights light you on fire?
Yeah, kind of.
Fortunately for you, I launched these signal repeaters throughout Raleigh's fortress. Get close to one, and I could checkpoint your progress.
Nice.
Did anybody else notice that the time was 4:20 a.m. at the original cutscene, by the way?
Did not, but nice.
Is this supposed to be like the Bond villain guy who throws the hat?
Yeah.
I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of spy kind of innuendos and stuff.
So like the writing's really good, and I think the game itself looks good for a PS2 game. It's the cutscenes that look a bit more weird per se compared to like Jack and Daxter. They was also going for like a very
we're lightly bagging with fondness on a PS2 game.
On a PS2,
you know, come on.
Amphibious positioning system. That big blimp is where Raleigh is hiding out.
You know, that blimp looks more like a machine than a hideout.
You're right, Sly.
Yes, it
That is
does.
a storm machine. It's the reason why it never stops raining around here.
That explains all the wrecked ships.
But why would Raleigh want bad weather at his own hideout 24/7?
Beats me. The rain
Raleigh's trying to make things fucking real wet around here.
Gross. But yeah, before I began working on Sly 4, I'd always wanted to play these games. I think the PS3 collection had just come out.
Oh, jeez.
Or I had played it right before I even knew I was going to be working on the gig. And I went ahead and I platinumed all the games. So I really enjoy the Sly Cooper franchise.
Yeah, Sam's on the sticks, by the way, guys.
Yeah, I'm on the sticks. I hope I don't die here.
I love the dum 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 dum.
Yeah, the dum dum dum. There's a lot of great stuff about these games. So, and I wasn't trying to bag on it, but just
no. Definitely, it hasn't aged.
It hasn't aged the best.
You know. Ooh. I love the idea of it. I think the writing's cool. The characters are inventive enough to where they follow existing tropes, but they do it in their own way.
Bentley was so much fun to draw, and I love drawing Carmelita and Murray. I got to do the wrestler scene with Murray for like the epilogue of Sly 4, and that was a lot of fun.
That's cool.
There's still some Easter eggs in Sly 4 that most people still haven't noticed, or I haven't seen anyone comment on.
They
haven't noticed that they've noticed, which is kind of funny. We were talking about that in my art group.
That gate kind of looked like a snake head.
Kind of did. Like, there's some really good art direction in these games.
I would definitely say this has its own art style.
Oh, hell yeah.
While being brash at points, I do think it has its very own kind of like thick, heavy, angular lines, kind of nice 69.
I think in-game it looks really great. The only thing that doesn't do that well, and animating characters on the PS2 was not easy at the time.
I'm sure.
I think that's the only thing that suffers a little bit, but that gets better over time as they get towards like the third game.
Yeah, this one looks a little rough compared to the one I played, so it must have been 3 probably.
Sucker Punch was pretty new at the time too. They didn't have the pedigree of doing, I think they did Rocket Racing or something with that little, God, what was it? I could have sworn Sucker Punch did this like unicycle racing game for the N64.
That doesn't, I'm not saying they didn't. That doesn't ring a bell to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wish they did the audio leveling a little better with those goddamn seagulls.
Yeah.
That large vault has got to be somehow.
I only have 12.
Jumping the gun. You need a few more.
Don't tell me I'm jumping no guns.
Yeah, we need a few more clues. We're gonna go look it up. It's 069. That's what it is. A clue, I smell a clue. That's a key.
I did like the gameplay better too for the subsequent games.
Well, yeah, I think the gameplay and the way that the game actually goes about things is pretty different from a lot of other games.
Oh yeah, no, the gameplay was really interesting. So for me, it was a big deal to work on like the triple threat of like the old school cartoony PlayStations, and to be able to contribute to like a Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, or a Sly Cooper was a big deal for me.
Oh hell yeah! No, that's a big deal.
So yeah, don't ever get it wrong if I bag on this game a little bit during this playthrough. I really do care about these characters.
Wonderful idea, but your plan is flawed.
Why?
Because it's impossible to get near him. To access Raleigh's blimp, you would have to sneak through that high voltage power tube. To do that without getting electrocuted, you'd have to destroy that power generator.
I feel like jump over the fence really well.
You need 2 more of Raleigh's treasure keys, which are heavily
Overall, like
guarded.
better than Sly.
Interesting.
Sly is definitely
So when are
very
you gonna get to the impossible part?
Fine. But I
dead in the
warn
eyes.
you,
Yeah, like his
I mark
mouth
the areas
animates
you need to hit
weird.
with holographic
I think he
markers.
speaks a lot faster too.
Follow
Yeah.
to your objectives.
Thanks.
Don't mention it.
It's a smaller
your
mouth too, so you don't get as much as
You
the
don't get as much
animation.
depth,
That
yeah.
kind of
Like I
you-
said, building these models and rigging like the controls for like how they animate was not easy.
I bet. No, yeah. I think the fact that they made these games and they were so as successful as they were for the time that
yeah.
they were is impressive.
Get that
I think it's
lucky.
great.
Found a lucky charm. That'll protect you when you take any damage.
Nice.
Yeah. Hippity hoppity.
I've got no hatred for it at all.
No,
I'm
I
just saying,
don't
like,
either.
looking at this now and having been inundated with the ow, my fucking ears. Inundated with the PS Now one real quick. That was kind of a letdown.
Yeah,
where I was just like, oh man,
PS Now
this
does
does not look
do it
good.
justice.
This looks better.
It looks
compared
way
to the
better for
PS Now
sure.
version.
Even at 480p for us, it looks way better.
That'll slam them shut.
Yes. I don't know why it looked, well, I mean, I'm sure there's other reasons why, but it looks better at 480p than it did streaming
Gotcha.
on PS Now at 1080.
If it's your only option, PS Now's not the worst thing, but it's definitely not good for us in recording.
I just, you missed one. There you go, yeah. I just knew that YouTube was already going to destroy the bitrate,
Yeah.
so it was like, ugh.
I had a feeling.
And we record at a bitrate of, I don't know what, I would just keep our normal settings here, but we record at a bitrate of 35 megabits per second,
Something like
I
that.
think. Or 3,500 bits. I can't remember the way it converts. Super sneaky.
I love that sound effect.
I
It's
do
so-
too.
it's so
No.
good.
I was like sitting here. I'm like, yep, that's good.
And I
like
love
that.
Infamous, so like I'm a big Sucker Punch fan as well.
That's
Infamous
right,
1
they
and 2
fucking
was
did
great.
them, huh?
Yeah.
God, they did a lot more than. They don't have like a genre. They kind of
No,
just
they
made
really
a lot of
don't.
different stuff.
Yeah, for sure. They kind of bounced around. And then they're on, they made, Ghost of Tsushima. That was their latest game.
Okay.
So yeah, they've definitely bounced around.
I heard that the team of Ghost of Tsushima just recently got kind of a
Honorific or something?
Honorific,
Yeah.
yeah. They were ambassadors of a sort, kind of probably the key to the city, you know, type of things.
Yeah, there was like the island that they like made the mainstay of their thing. Oh god, I'm so glad lives aren't a thing in video games anymore.
Yeah, really.
Oh, they're just the worst. They're just so bad.
On top of that, like I think the camera movement following you seems pretty clever. Pretty
These
good.
games are great. It's just every time I look at like the animation, it's like, oh man, this must have been such a struggle for the animators to make it work. It must have just been torture.
I don't
using
know
the different
internally how it
controls.
works, but I'm looking at little things that would have pissed me off if you're trying to do stealth or this kind of platforming.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no, they've got good tells. The camera follows and seems to work really well. Like I'm not the one playing, but I'm sitting here. I'm like, yeah, this seems.
I did play it for an
Like they
hour
did it
on
well.
PS Now before I got back into it, so that's another reason why I'm kind of picking this up pretty easily.
Yeah. Well, it was the testing process for trying to figure out if we could play this
See if we
goddamn
can play
game.
it.
Again, for anyone who doesn't know, PS3 has a weird HDMI, HDCP blocking feature that doesn't allow us to record as easily as any other game.
Back when
we
PS3
tried with PS Now on the PS4 because that was available for the PS4, but then streaming it didn't work out well, and it was like, ugh. No, man, the dynamicism of these like early levels, I don't know what it's going to be like for the other ones.
No,
but
there's a reason why these games are classic.
Exceedingly impressive.
That's why it was so much fun to end up doing all those cutscenes for Sly Cooper 4. We weren't in charge of the game. Sanzaru Games, which is actually located in the Bay Area as well.
Oh, damn.
Worked on the main game for Sly Cooper 4, but they were in charge of the ports of these before Sony gave them the go-ahead to make that PS4 game, which, you know, it has some issues here and there, but I still think it's a good game. It was a really enjoyable experience. I thought the story stuff we did for it was a lot of fun. I know some people don't like some of the character turns that may have happened.
I'm unaware of those.
With some of the characters, I understand, but
you didn't write the story.
I didn't write the story. I worked I was a young artist. It was my first job out of school. It was the first game I ever got to work on, like big game, and I was just like, oh man.
I feel like a lot of your younger style too was similar in ways to a lot of what the Sly Cooper style is.
For sure.
Oh, there's another bottle.
Sly Cooper, that's one reason.
It's kind of like harder edged, kind of line weight,
especially
different
when
stuff.
I had a lot thicker style back in.
Like I was saying, like back then, I think it fit that style.
That was mostly because I had used the pen tool for all my inking because I could never get it.
Mrs. Pringles!
I didn't know about smoothing, and I didn't know about. I have this new program called Lazy Nezumi, which stabilizes.
What's it called?
The pen. It's called Lazy Nezumi. It's like
Lazy Nezumi?
Yeah, it's like Nezumi.
I couldn't tell if you were saying Lazy
it's a weird
Lazy Nezumi. Oh, okay.
It was programmed by another artist. Do I have enough for this?
You can't open this vault without finding the rest of the clues.
I mean, I could look them up if we haven't.
No, I mean, I can't even remember what you get from all the clues.
Okay.
I'm not gonna try and go. I'll see if I can see them.
No. It's so much trouble to fucking record this goddamn game.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and do it in as few recording sessions as we can. Because each time we disconnect
It's like 2 hours for us to set it up.
To set it up, it takes a while of. Today we had to download the game, and that's fun. Had to download the game, and because we thought we were gonna stream it on PS Now. Wow.
Okay.
Good luck with that one. And we found out that PS3 has a bottleneck on their download speed. So this was what, 5 gigs?
5 gigs, and
it took about 44 minutes.
Time to do
and I looked at it and I'm like, well, what's our download speed? Even at half download speed, which is what we're at right now, we're at half download speed. It still downloaded 5 gigs over the course of 45 minutes, 42 minutes.
Yeah.
Bummer, you can't open this vault without finding the rest of the clues.
And I tested it on my phone, 178 gigs per second. And it's like, wait, so how the fuck does that take 45 minutes?
I can't even remember what the PS3 do.
I don't know.
They just give you new lives as soon as you hit 100.
Oh, that might be it. Yeah, that's a typical old school thing. Nice. And whoop. Very nice. Very nice. No, you got it. Saved it. Pretty good hitboxes, it feels like, too, though.
Yeah, no, this game has never felt overly cheap like certain games.
That would crush you on any other game. It's like, oh, no, I feel pretty good.
Okay.
It seems designed well enough to allow you to feel like you're a cool, supervillain.
Yeah, for sure.
Not supervillain, but like
I can't believe
super spy, thief.
Sure. Ooh.
I don't know where it went to. Oh, the camera!
Yeah, the camera's good.
That's so good.
There's a lot of great stuff in this game.
They definitely seem like they were inspired by movies because the camera work,
100%.
The camera work, whoever designed it or worked on it, definitely feels like they paid a ton of attention.
And there's some little great animations, especially like that with Sly. There's a lot of character.
The characters feel very animated as well. Like they move and they have like almost unique ways they go about grabbing things. Whereas you could just use and recycle a lot of the models and stuff. It feels like a lot of this is
there's a lot of care and attention to detail.
Yeah,
it's just the cutscenes that are a little weird, but that's the only thing. Like the actual in-game animation is really solid. Like Sly's run animation's cool. It's got a nice bob to it. There's a nice feel to all this, and the zany kind of like really push proportion styles.
Goddamn anglerfish.
Yeah. All right, so we want to come back next time?
Yeah, we'll come back next time. I think my only gripe would be the audio leveling, but you know, that is what it is. Fuck it. We'll see you guys next time. Beep, bop, boop. I'm excited that we actually have this set up and that we're recording it.
We're finally
now that all the bullshit of trying to set it up is done, it's like, oh, thank God. Okay, cool. Now we can enjoy the game.
Now we can actually enjoy what we want to play.
There's no work behind the screen. There's a ton of work behind
There's a ton of work. Playing this natively on PS3, fine. Trying to record on PS3, not fine.